It smells good, but it also smells like chemicals. Here we go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know the shimmy, it is clearly your first time here. So my name is Delana Cherie. So the other day I was being, just a good old basic white girl browsing my way through the land of Target. And you know what I came across? This little guy, the Tanologist Express Tan. Considering that my first time trying Loving Tan video is by far the most popular video I've ever made, I figured I had to follow up with a good drugstore tanner for you guys. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try that and I'm gonna share my whole experience with you, from the application to how it developed throughout the day to how it looks now and whether I feel like it's worth the $16.99 or whether you should be scared of it. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, so whenever I was first going to apply this tan, I was super nervous.
I am super freaking nervous about this because it is a clear solution. It doesn't have any tint to it. So that means that I cannot see where it is going, how it is going on my body, and if it's going on evenly, and if I missed any spots or anything like that. Hopefully, my minimal experience that I've had in self-tanning, I won't screw this up. Here you go.
There you go.
Once I applied it, I really kind of felt like, because of my experience with tinted self-tanners, like ones that you can actually see where you're applying it and how it's going on and whether you're getting it on at least semi-evenly and everything in between, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what spots I typically miss on my body and where I need to be extra careful with my blending and everything like that. But the thing is that I wouldn't have that experience and I wouldn't be as knowledgeable about that and as aware of that if I didn't already have that experience with tinted self-tanners, which is why I kind of feel like this might not be the best option if it's like your first time ever self-tanning, because having a clear solution, you don't know what spots you need to be careful in and stuff like that. So if you just want to be a little bit more careful and just making sure that you're applying, first of all, enough product, and then secondly, you're hitting every little inch of your body, go for it. But for me, I feel like starting with a tinted tanner helps you to just kind of get the hang of things before you can go in fully confident with a clear tanner like this.
It's sliding.
So then after applying it, I really didn't see any difference until like 3 hours in. I mean, I kind of thought I saw a little bit of color like right off the bat.
My husband said that it's all in my head, but I think it's already turning a darker color on my back. I think it's all in his head.
But I still don't know if that was just all in my head or not. I don't. But I really didn't start seeing any real color until like the 3 hour mark, I would say. But even after the 3 hour mark, I never really felt like it got like substantially darker. Like I definitely started to see a tint, but it wasn't anything substantial. So I ended up leaving it on for about 6 hours. After washing it off, I was kind of feeling like, I like the tanner. I don't think it's gonna get me as dark as I want it to. I don't think it's gonna live up to the Loving Tan in any way. I'm not sure about the tone. I think the tone is slightly different and stuff like that, because I'm used to Loving Tan where it's just like a very olive tone. Same with Saint Tropez is a very olive tone, and this one does seem to be a little bit more, it's still olive toned to me, but like on my legs, it does look a little bit less olive, I guess. I don't think it looks orange, but it just, I don't know, less olive, I guess. I don't know how I got tanner on my palms, but I did somehow. I didn't apply it to my palms, that's for sure. And I washed off my hands like right on my palms right after I finished applying, because it actually tells you to wash your hands right after application, but I just washed my palms off like this, but it's still, I still got a tint. And so that's kind of bringing me to my next point, which is what I realized about this tanner is that it tells you on the bottle to leave it on for 1 to 4 hours. But what it doesn't tell you on the bottle is that the tan continues to develop after you wash it off. And so I was totally not expecting that, but it definitely, like in my experience, it 100% still develops after you've washed it off with soap and water, because my hands were not this dark last night and they kept getting darker yesterday throughout the day. I was like, I washed my hands 3 times probably just to get the tanner off and stuff, and it's still like it kept developing. And so I was like, that's whenever I started to get a little bit scared, because I was like, okay, I've now left this on for 6 hours and apparently it's gonna continue to develop. So what if I wake up tomorrow and I look like a freaking crazy person? Thankfully, I don't think that happened, but I did wake up and I did notice that my face did feel a little bit, just a hint orange. Like you're seeing my face with makeup, but my face without makeup was just a hint. I would say just a hint orange, but really nothing that obviously couldn't be covered by makeup, nothing that I would be embarrassed about not wearing makeup out in public. Like you would really have to be looking for the fact that I was self-tanning to know that the tan on my face was unnatural. Like it really wasn't that bad, but it was definitely on the verge of getting bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they necessarily meant for the product to continue to develop after you wash it off. My guess is that's not necessarily their intent, because they don't say that on the bottle. And a lot of tanners that do continue to develop after you rinse them off will tell you on the bottle, rinse off after this certain amount of time, tan will continue to develop. And so the fact that they don't tell you that on this is kind of a problem, because what if you are looking like me, you're looking for that color and you're like, okay, well, I don't see anything, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer, because it does say leave on for 1 to 4 hours, but then it says increased time equals increased tan. So if you're wanting a darker tan, you can leave it on longer. Longer you leave it on, the darker the tan, obviously, like most tanners. And so I would definitely say if you're fair skinned, start with like maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and let the tan develop after that, because after you wash it off, it's gonna keep getting darker, apparently. So I am pretty fair skinned naturally. For somebody like me who was kind of looking for that ultra dark loving tan results, like if I'm gonna tan, I don't want it to look like I'm just like normal color, you know? I'm either gonna be super fair, because I love fair skin as well, or I wanna be super tan. Like I don't have time to just be in between. Like I'd wanna be this or that. For somebody like me to not disclose that it continues to develop after you wash it off, I'm gonna sit there for 6 to 8 hours and I'm gonna be like, all right, where's my tan? It could make somebody kind of look like a crazy person if they're not careful. Whenever it hit the 6 hour mark, I was like, okay, I think it's time to wash it off.
So it's been 6 hours. Yes, that is longer than it said it was going to, but by the 4 hour mark, I didn't feel like it looked like much of anything. So I left it on for longer. So you know what that means.
But then I went to bed and I woke up this morning and I was like, I am living my tan dreams. Other than my hands, honestly, at this point, I am absolutely obsessed with it. My husband kept commenting on how tan I was, but he kept commenting not just that I was tan, but he was like, you're so tan, but in a good way. And so I was like, really? Other than, you know, my husband noticing it and me waking up and kind of seeing how it looks now, especially on my arms and stuff like that, my knees, my elbows, all these places that normally the tan starts to get really weird, look absolutely fabulous. Like I was shocked at how smooth everything looks, even with the Loving Tan. And I prepped my skin the exact same way with Loving Tan. It never came out this smooth. Like I would freaking scrub my skin, I would shave my whole body, like everything. And Loving Tan never came out. Like I would prep with lotion and everything the exact same way, but Loving Tan never came out like this. And so I'm kind of like freaking obsessed with the smoothness of this tan. Like everything looks so natural. It looks like my skin. Honestly, I'm obsessed. I mean, considering that this one is literally half the price of Loving Tan and Saint Tropez and all those other like more high-end lines, and it gives me this nice olive tone, not as olive as Loving Tan or Saint Tropez, definitely not as olive as Saint Tropez, because Saint Tropez is almost borderline green. Overall, I mean, Guys, Tanologist kind of killed it. $16, I think it's $16.99, so $17, 6.76 fluid ounces. And that's about how much I used in the first application. It was probably filled up to about there originally. I used quite a bit, but I was also quite paranoid that I wasn't going to apply it perfectly evenly, so I was like layering it up. So now that you know everything that you need to know about the Tanologist Express Tan, make sure to check it out yourself, and make sure to check out this playlist that I'm putting together about all of my summer videos, how to look bronze with your makeup routine, and I'm gonna put some summer styles in there, as well as my loving tan video, because that one's just hilarious. So, and always remember that beauty should be fun and life should be beautiful. So I will see you over in those videos. Bye!